if you want something elegant, alright, if you could go for something simple, right, you could have a AC adapter, plug it to the wall, and then just daisy chain your pedals. But using that method is not very good because you're gonna have things like leakages, noise that is going into your system, and all this cross interference and everything that you do not want to have in your sound. Sure, you can have good stuffs like quality brands like Chooks. Yeah, they are a very good brand, right? They give you very solid stuffs and everything. But what if you want a tier higher? That's where Strymon comes in. Strymon will give you that quality that you need, albeit at a cost. This is the Strymon Ojai R30. Is it good? And is it even worth it? Is it even worth the cost? Let's find out. Hey guys, this is Chester here. You guys are watching our channel right here at Chester and Unboxing. So today we'll be taking a look at a power supply unit. No, not the power supply for your wall. No, this is the power supply for music pedals, for guitar pedals specifically. So this is the Strymon Ojai R30. So a bit of backstory. So Strymon, they used to sell the Zuma and the Ojai. So back then it used to be very straightforward. The Zuma if you want big scale, Ojai if you want small scale, and the original Ojai is really very small. But users have been giving feedback, you know, they say, what if my pedal has different voltages? Because you can cross your current. If let's say your power supply has not enough current, the pedal might just, you know, not work properly. But you cannot cross voltages, you cannot mix them. So once you put a 9V power supply into a 12V pedal, for example, boom, you have a very nice brick that you can put on display at your home. Yeah, so this is where the Ojai R30 comes in. It has the same number of outputs. It has 5 outputs, okay, but instead of just offering them a very standard flat, so the original Ojai has 5 outputs. All 5 of them is 9V and 500 milliamps. We'll talk about more about that later. The Ojai R30 has 5 inputs, 500 milliamps each. 500 amps, damn, 500 milliamps each, and 2 of them are actually adjustable to 9, 12, and 18 volts. So this actually guarantees compatibility with a lot of other pedals out there. Okay, so taking a look at the box here, we have the Ojai R30, and it actually surprised me how big this box is. Later you understand why. Okay, a bit of codes and everything. Moving on, and it's a very simple thing, and there's a quote there: left brain artists, innovators, thinkers. Left brain, very important. Okay, moving on. Opening the box, right? Okay, you will see that the actual unit is just like that. Yeah, it's actually quite compact. So the box is so big for what, you know? I mean, your brand is already as big as it is, right? Okay, so this is the actual unit itself. So yep, pretty small and actually not very heavy. I was expecting it to be heavier, but more on that later. Okay, so we open up the box and you'll find a second box. This is what is this? Oh, more stuffs and instructions, specifications on what you can do and how much you can plug in using the R30.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so what's in the box? It will be the actual power supply itself, metal by the way. Yeah, so just a reassurance thing. Alright, power supply cable. So this particular second box actually contains the actual power supply. Okay, so a thing with the Strymon Ojai units, right, whether it's the original one or it is the R30, the power supply is actually a separate unit. So you plug this, your musical pedals go to here, right, but then you actually plug the 24V in here. So the power supply goes to here, and then from the power supply it goes to the wall. So it's actually a decision that I'm not really very happy with, but they have actually addressed it. So if you want something like a built-in solution, you can actually go for the Zuma R300. So yeah, so that's covered. This is the cable that connects this to this, and this is stickers, I suppose, drill template. So if you want to drill a this is if you want to do the mounting kit to your pedal board underneath your pedal board, use this as your mounting template. Yeah, it is to scale, so you just need to drill this and then you can mount it using these two holes right here. It will line up. Yeah, see, it is in line with these two things here. Okay, so you can drill it. So screws, they actually come with two screws. Yeah, 2 screws. So you can do that if you want. Personally, I would just use a zip tie because I don't feel comfortable, doing this kind of thing. Okay, and some hotline stuff like that, but too bad I don't live in America, so that's not applicable for me. Rubber feet, very useful if you want to put this. If let's say this is going to be very close contact with the floor, you want those rubber feet so that it will not directly touch the floor and may cause any issues. Last but not least, important, we have the accessory pack. So what does accessory pack contain? We'll talk about that in a short while. So for the accessory pack, right, we have 5 cables included. So it's a very simple 5 in, 5 out, 1 in, 1 out each. Very simple. There's no dualers, there's no duplicates and whatever. It's just as simple as you can get. What you see plug in is what you can plug out. Okay, so let's talk about the actual power supply itself, the power supply unit. Okay, so as mentioned, this has 5 outputs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so outputs number 1 to 3, they are 9 volts, 500 milliamps each. Okay, so it's very important because 500 milliamps, that's a lot of power. Okay, most guitar pedals, regular size ones, most digital ones, they actually use less than 100. On average, they use about 40 to 50 milliamps only. So it's a lot. That means that you can also purchase separately like a splitter or 1 input to 2 output, so you can connect like 2 pedals using this 1 input. But be warned, because if you do that, you must make sure that those 2 pedals you're plugging in does not cross-talk with each other. So for example, if you plug in like a overdrive pedal or distortion pedal with a delay pedal, there might be a small chance that your delay might leak into the distortion, causing a bit of a unwanted noise and everything. So just test around first, just make sure it is safe. Okay, ports 4 and 5, same 500 milliamps, but the voltage can be adjusted to either 9, 12, or 18. Alright, so both of them, they work the same. So 9, 12, or 18. Okay, this is your 24 volt in, 24 volt in, 24 volt through. So in is from your power supply here, as mentioned before. Wall goes to the power supply connects to this cable goes to the in, and it goes like that. Okay, so through is something cool. So I haven't seen anything on other companies before, but if let's say you bought this initially for a relatively regular size board, right? Because five inputs, and then down the line you upgrade, right? You improve your skills, you become a better guitarist, you upgrade your board, you have more pedals, and oh no, you need to buy a new power supply. No, you don't need to do that. You can actually save your money. You can purchase something special called the expansion kit. So the expansion kit, basically it is identical, just that they don't come with this. So what they do is you can actually plug this 24 volt through to another second, whether you want to buy the regular Ojai or the Ojai R30. You can just connect it, hook it up, and voila, you have 10 ports now instead of 5. But take note, alright, the Ojai series, you can only daisy chain another Ojai. You cannot like Ojai connect to Zuma and all that. No, it doesn't work that way because of the capability of this power supply. On the other hand, if you use a Zuma as your main, you can actually connect this one out to another Zuma expansion kit or an Ojai. Is because the built-in power supply capability of the Zuma is higher, so that's why you can plug in more. So please don't test the limits. Don't go and see how much you can hook up, alright? So I don't want to see a house burn down. Nice. So just make sure you're careful for that. So let's take a look at the dimensions now. Okay, so the dimensions of the actual R30 itself. The length, it is 13 cm. Okay, the width, it is about 6 cm. And finally, the height, it is about 3 cm. Okay, so that's for this actual unit itself. Let's talk about the power supply. The power supply length, it is 10.5 cm. That's the length. For the width, it is about 5.25 cm. The height, it is about 3 cm. Okay, so very important because this is actually two physical units, right? So that means that if you want to mount this below your pedalboard, you gotta factor in two physical units under. So if your pedalboard is, let's say, not long enough, so you might be able to mount this, but you might not be able to mount this. So you gotta factor both in, and yeah, just make sure both is good lah. Alright, if not, you might want to consider getting the Zoomer, or you just want to put this on top of the pedalboard instead, so you can actually save space if that's what you want. If not, I believe that's about it for the Strymon Ojai R30 power supply. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. I'm Chester, that's all for today. See you guys.